Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose, Yuletide carols being sung by to 92. Although it's been said,
it's almost a crime. Happy holidays, everybody, to fade off from Nat King Cole into me. But happy holidays, everybody. I love you, my God. Thank you for being here. It's a few minutes past 11 o'clock on a Saturday. A rainy Saturday here. On a holiday season as well. You know what time it is. It's time for the Club with Lucas here. Hi, everybody. What's up? But I'm not alone in the studio for extraordinaire. Man, he's a quadruple hyphenate, triple threat. I don't know. Mr. Eric Red is here. Thank you so much for being here in the studio and doing a little bit of holiday love with us. Thank you, Eric Red, house producer, house musician, our dance artist, and of course, Soul Train dancer. I don't know why the hell I missed that half the other day. Children, it's been real. I know you're all feeling this new moon energy as well, so let's keep it real together. But I've got you for a couple of hours today. In fact, we're going to be starting the health celebrations with Mr. Eric Red, but he's performing tonight. In fact, at the Velvet, right?
At the Velvet Room.
With that voice. Okay, I'm going to make my voice like this now. He's going to be performing at the Velvet Room at 11 o'clock?
11 o'clock.
And pop it off. And are you going to be doing one or two sets, sir?
2 sets.
Okay, so until the wee hours of the morning.
Yes.
And this is a festive celebration. It's not just going to be for sitting down and Christmas time cries, okay? But we have so much to talk to and get to as well with Mr. Red and a little bit of news that's not happening in my country. Our country, even though we're expatriate immigrants. Yes, we are. But we are keeping it real here tonight and live. And I just want to thank everybody. I know this is the sixth day of Hanukkah. We have not been here in a couple of weeks, so I want to also give a lot of love to everybody who, in Australia, specifically, for the shooting that happened not 7 days ago, and the Brown University students as well. Remember, folks, this is a time of upheaval right now, and this is probably a few of the things we're going to touch on, not only this hour at the beginning, but also when Gigi McFarland joins us to continue the Christmas celebrations and Hanukkah, the Chrismukkah celebrations, the Chrismukkah Kwanzaa celebrations, as we do here from New York City. There's a lot going on, so we want to get to that. Pitter patter, let's get out of it. But at the same time, there's a lot of music that we're going to be doing now as well. Somebody I know is going to be dropping some music and we're going to be performing. We're going to be doing that live. He's saving his voice for later. Now, Gigi is going to be performing later, but we'll get to that on the flip side later. However, you know I am not a homosensual. And my princess of pop, it's not Britney. Okay, please don't. Oh, God. I'm sorry, I just said that name. Kylie Minogue just dropped a Christmas record, and she's been doing this in a hot minute every other year, and I am not mad with this one. This is actually a single she just released yesterday. It's called Hot in December, and it's getting hot in December, and it's just a beautiful, the minute you listen to it, you already know. And M, this song is for you. Hot in December. You remember you can catch the gems live on RCE 106.9 FM. RCE.cat all over the good world. And if you're here in Catalonia, 106.9 FM as well. And we'll be right back. Pitter patter. Let's get at her. This is Kylie.
The lights all went out. Only candles were burning. Built the fire for you and I. And the world has stopped turning. People missing out on love. hold me a little bit longer, love me a little bit harder. Give me the heat of the summer, a night to remember. Yeah, you're changing me like the weather. You know you make it hot in December. Hold me a little bit tighter, kiss me a little bit slower. Give me the heat of the summer, a night to remember. Yeah, you're changing me like the weather. You know you make it hot in December.
Okay, see you already. Okay, so before we dive into the music, into the news, excuse me, that nobody says up the clues in English for news like you, Zoluki. But you just said Scott Wickman and Aikman and Waterman.
Stock Aiken and Waterman.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Now they're the brothers that produced Together, Rick Astley,
Yes,
and
they
all
did.
those bitches.
Yes.
And she was that's where she started with her locomotion,
Yes.
and I Should Be So Lucky in Love. Now, you also said during the music break, and we are going to jump into the news, children, that she's one of the nicest people, and you're maybe the 8th or 9th person to say this,
Absolutely.
to work with.
Yes.
What is it about her energy that you dig so much?
I think she's genuine in appreciating that you appreciate her art form. You know, I lived in England when she was on Neighbors.
Everybody needs.
Yeah. And so with Jason, I forgot his last name. Donovan. And they were, you know, a loving couple, and they were lovers, and they were the biggest thing in the tabloids. And then I ran into her one day because I had a record deal with Jive, and just kind. One of those, and I've said this to you earlier, I believe that us folks that have been in the business since we were like teenagers, really, you understand how lucky you are to be here.
Yeah.
You see everybody else fall off by the wayside, and you're still trudging along, and you appreciate people appreciating you. And I saw that all over her.
Okay.
This is before the cancer.
Before the cancer survival.
This is so I can only imagine what a beautiful, special personality that is at this point.
I feel like we're living in such an interesting time because we're going to speak about people falling off the wayside right now, Epstein files release or not. And I feel like this is the first time where we're honestly living in a realm where we have major pop stars who are between 50 and 80.
Yes.
You know, who still chart, who still drawing 30,000, 50,000, 1.6 million people to a crowd in Copacabana Beach, you know.
Over 80.
It's insane. Yeah, exactly. Over 80.
Over 80.
I mean, we even have one here called Raphael. Excuse me. I won't even talk about him.
Diana is over 80.
Has she passed 80 now?
Patty is over 80.
Patty is over 80. And they, but they don't look as they over 60.
look-
Okay.
Barry Manilow is over 80.
You know, Kathy Griffin just had a moment with him and talked about that because he's 83, 84 now.
Nicest guy in the world.
So it is that moment of appreciation.
Yep.
And
Nicest.
being aware. And folks, so we have so much more to talk to with our Ray King Eric Red, who's also, we're going to crown him here. He's also been bringing one of his beautiful tracks to us that's going to make you start doing this approximately 47 seconds into the track. This I know. Now, I have to also serve up a little bit of news that's coming out of the two countries now. Yesterday was, okay, I want to say this. Over a month ago, it was officially signed by the U.S. President Donald Trump that all of the U.S. Department of Justice files that they had and what they're calling the Epstein Library now had to be released in full by last night at midnight or 6 p.m. here this morning, 6 a.m. this morning here in Spain and Europe. Now, hundreds and hundreds of the thousands of pages are just redacted black pages. What has been interestingly released, according to this Epstein Library, are lots of photos of Bill Clinton and Noam Chomsky and Woody Allen and anybody who's on the left. And they have had 10 months, 11 months now, since March, 10 months. It has been widely reported from FBI informants that there were over 1,000 FBI agents who have been redacting these files since March of 2025. Within a month and a half of him taking into this office. So the U.S. Department of Justice has released this portion. It includes redacted documents. Again, I say hundreds of them. If you look at this, you will laugh. It is criminally offensive. Photos and transcripts tied to Epstein as well as his associates and victims. As we were all waking up, I can also report that they are going to be demanding Pam Bondi come in and speak to the Senate and the Congress about this because this is a violation of federal law that was signed into law, and she could be held liable and going to prison because they're saying they're going to put this to the nth degree. They're going to take this to the possibility of defying federal law, which is years in jail. So we shall see with that. Critics from both parties have said that the DOJ have obviously failed to meet these legal standards, and many obvious things have been withheld. They will seek all full oversight action as well. And this is off the back of an interesting jobs report. Now, I would like to say in a jobs report here in Spain, things are quite stable. In fact, we are still coasting as the strongest growth economy of any country in the world at the end of 2025 fiscal year. In fact, it is a 3.1% growth economy, and no other country in this motherfucking world have done that, okay? I don't even think my country has got to 2% this year. However, we'll get to, in the next hour, we'll talk about the drama that's happening in Moncloa. What's happening in the country where I was born and unfortunately has too much power over the world economy, the University of Michigan is saying that the prospects of jobs, the cost of living, are higher than they've ever been. The most recent Michigan index, and the Michigan University is one of the ones that actually has been doing this for decades, tracking these economic numbers. The lowest economic numbers in years, typically the strength of this index number from Michigan is between 80 and 90 in the strength of the U.S. economy. It is now at a 53.3, one of the lowest in years, if not decades. There was only 64,000 jobs added, and the unemployment rate, depending on where you live, is between 4 and 6% in every state. I just want to say that during Joe Biden, it was between 3.1 and 3.9% of unemployment. Now we're looking at 4.6% is the average, but it's over 5 in many states, most of those states being red states. Now let me not confuse you folks. Red states in the country that we were born in means right-wing states, which is very different here in Europe, where the red is for the socialist or democratic-leaning parties. And the blue states is the other. Now, final thing. Oh, God, you're going to love this one. Over in the UK, British consumers remain cautious while the markets remain high. Now, why is this happening? Why do you think this is happening? People are buying in droves, most of them online. But there is a lot of street traffic going on. And I'm going to ask you right now, sir, have you been doing any shopping?
No.
Nothing. All right. They do fear that after the holidays, everything's going to go crashing. So,
there it
UK,
is.
prepare for yourselves. But in Spain, hopefully we stay strong unless we run into some new elections. Oh, God, please help us. What do you feel? How are you feeling the holidays these days? How are you feeling the holidays these days?
This has been a tough year. Mm-hmm. And so we said this word a moment ago. I feel wistful. Mm-hmm. I feel a little sad. I'm not as happy as I normally am in the holidays. I'm sad that the Rob Reiner thing just took me out. Just because it tells us kind of where we are, that we normalize things that were just outrageous. Mm-hmm. And so, no, but I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful to see another Christmas. Amen. I'm grateful to be excited about a new year. Mm-hmm. So it's a mixed bag.
Yeah, it's right. I think that you said it well. It is a mixed bag, and I think many of us are here. I would also like to report that about the Rob Reiner, who is just certainly, I mean, anybody who made Spinal Tap and kicked off Christopher Guest's career.
Meathead. The Meathead. I grew up with the Meathead. I mean, come on.
But also, I also have to report, there was a Spinal Tap 2 released just a year ago with all of the actors and everybody, Harry Shearer, and everyone and his mother, who's still producing on The Simpsons, by the way. I just want to say. What the President of the United States of America said about that was heinous. And
fitting for him.
And I was not surprised. I think the shock and outrage needs to stop and keep it. Let's all be aware of what's going on. Not only in the United States or everywhere, but just in pockets across this globe. We're seeing, as we're saying, it's gone beyond winsome in many parts of the world. But, excuse me, that has nothing to do with the bubbly that we're also drinking. Happy holidays, people. Now, one of the things we want to serve up besides love and happiness, something that'll make you do something that'll make you do right, is some beautiful R&B because somebody that I know was talking about not being inspired by new artists. So I've dropped up a couple things.
Okay.
And there's this one outfit. They're an outfit called Crossroads out of the UK who works with this beautiful little lass named Claire, Cler. Look her up. And they've been releasing some beautiful tracks with different artists over the last couple of years. This is one that came out a few months ago called Tripping Out, because sometimes we just these days. And we're going to be right back with a lot to talk about with Mr. Eric Red. Happy holidays, everybody. This is Crossroads.
I'm tripping out over you, baby, over you. I'm tripping out over you. Each day I live with you is like a day without sunshine. I'm hung up on your babe.
We love to laugh loud and long and clear. That was Crossroads and Claire and Tripping Out, because sometimes we be. Okay. So trip out with me. And raise a glass. Everybody, I hope you have a little bit of your poison, whether it's caffeinated, whether it's water, whether it's Vichy, or a little bit of low alcohol cava. Of course, it's low alcohol. But let's also get into the nitty gritty of some things, because you've been, as we spoke about earlier, Don Cornelius?
Don.
Miss the Don.
Yes.
Um,
Who does not get
his props.
all of the flowers that he deserves for
Please talk
everything.
to the people about this, because we touched on that 2 years ago when you first.
Yeah, because the thing is, and I'll tell you something that I did 2 years ago. I went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame the day they inducted Don, because I felt it was the most important thing that I could do in a thank you to Don. We do not understand how many doors Don Cornelius opened, how much we see in Black culture, how much we see in Black music, how much that the pride that Black people hold within themselves in America comes from Don Cornelius creating a representation for us every week for some kind of 20 years.
Testify.
So the career that I'm able to have, the professionalism that I'm able to own, the clothing and choices and vibrance, this is the result of me being one of the people that Don Cornelius opened his door to and let me in and let me become an artist. So there's never enough. There's just never enough thank yous, never enough kudos, never enough flowers for the Black man that opened all of this culture. If you are somewhere in Spain today wearing Michael Jordan sneakers because you think they're cool, because I see them everywhere in the city,
know.
You owe that to Don Cornelius for showing us the culture of Black people, and it's cool.
Yep.
And it's fashion nature.
I'm glad you've just steered the conversation into a whole different realm, because the co-opting and sometimes beautiful understanding and sometimes very heinous misunderstanding of what Black culture means, and African American culture, Afro-European culture, African culture in general, has been very much taken over and bastardized by many people. And I don't necessarily like to get on she's co-opting Native American. I dig fashion. I love style.
We all
it's
do.
a whole other thing. Some people really need help, though. But there is an interesting measurement that we talked about the other day in our little tete-a-tete. And how, as a beautiful Black man who's been working in this for decades, out of New York City, out of Los Angeles, out of London, out of other parts of Europe, have you seen changes through the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, and now?
Absolutely.
Okay. Can you just highlight a couple of those? And then we'll talk a little bit about the music as well.
When I came to Europe some 25, 30 years ago, because I lived in Paris. I was a ballet dancer in Paris. And I worked for this really amazing choreographer, Roland Petit. And while I was with Roland Petit, he had a wife, Zizi Jeanmaire, who was a cabaret star. And
what a name.
She was just something else. She was one of the muses for Yves Saint Laurent. So this is where I learned about French fashion, and at that point, Yves Saint Laurent, his cabine had all Black girls. So that was the beginning of me seeing what we meant to fashion and seeing people recognize it. And then we moved into the 90s and hip hop popped in.
And this was when I was growing up.
And so then Black girls got blonde and baggy pants happened and all of this. And so then we took over the culture. We took over, and I was worldwide. And then we moved into the 2000s and that cooled down and we started getting sophisticated. We took that hip hop flavor, African flavor, and it became culture. And that's when you started seeing Oswald Boateng.
Yeah.
So, you started seeing Black people as couturiers. He's unbelievable. You started to see Black men in fine suits and Black women in evening gowns. And you know that recently the Met Gala had this experience of Black fashion. So I've watched it, but here's the takeaway. One of the things that's interesting is it's still difficult for people to give the kudos where they belong. I will see people here walk up to me with cornrows and act like they got that from somewhere else. I see my culture walking down the street every day, every day. And they think this is some worldwide thing that fell out. I listen to music that has African beats all behind it.
We eat the food that comes from there.
Absolutely. So I think one of the things in the evolution is that we have always been here and we have always been the trailblazer. Right. But the problem is people wanting to recognize where it comes from, because that's when that old racist thing rears its head again of saying, well, they didn't really invent. Oh, yeah, we did.
Yep.
I spoke about it earlier. It's amazing to me to walk around Barcelona and see us without reference to us, but seeing us all the time. Even just in watching someone that's about 12 years old with their mom and their pants are hanging down kind of low with the undies showing and they've got on flip-flops with socks and a knit cap. And I'm like, who are you being? But I've learned to now not
Andre
take
Benjamin.
offense. But I don't take offense anymore. Now I look back to Don Cornelius and I look with gratitude.
Again, it
I
goes
look
back
with
to
gratitude.
that. Thank you for circling back to that. Because he makes my job easier, kids. And there's, and it's all about making it easier on Daddy. Think, take a drink. And there's an element, though, where I do want to get back to our music culture because Don Cornelius helped push that into the...
Yes,
I mean, I would want to remind everybody, up until the late 80s, the American Music Award and Grammy Awards still said black artists.
Yes, it did.
I mean, and when I tell my uni students this, they're shocked that this stuff, still existed 35 years ago, 40 years ago.
No, it still exists now. When you look on, I saw it today on, because we're at the end of the year and on the Instagram, the people are saying their 10 best albums and stuff. And on 3 of the lists, there's an album and it's called Black British Music. Now, the idea that they need to label it black at the top is almost ridiculous to me.
It's insanity in 2026.
But it says more about them.
Thank you.
It just says, and I'm not going to pretend like, oh, you're so forward and did it. No, if you're still calling stuff black so that you can put this moniker on the top of it to sell it because no one is smart enough in your mind to just hear it, then you're telling me where you are.
Should it be in a genre? Like, it's not necessarily techno, so should it be R&B? I mean, we have genres for
It's
this
just
music.
music. Why? I mean, they don't have those genres. They, when they do soul, they need to call it British soul. When they have, it's black house,
blue-eyed.
Yeah, they need all of that. The thing is that it's always amazing to me. People that want to scream all this, we're not racist and we're nowhere like America, and you guys are, and you still need monikers for sales because that's all it's about. It's not about referencing black music because you love it and you respect it. And you do that, but this is because you want to sell it to those people that like black music. Thank you, Don Cornelius, again. Let's go back.
Thank you, Eric Red, because he also is bringing us our next track. Now, this is something that you've put out for the Christmas holidays. It is a classic because it's Little Drummer Boy. But it's not just a Little Drummer Boy. There's no just rum-pum-pum-pumming.
And it's important to say that it's produced by David Anthony, who is my producer, a New Yorker, who's now living in Stockholm. And he is unbelievable, has had an unbelievable career with Janet and Coolio and da-da-da-da. But he was the one that came to me with the idea. And we wanted to do Christmas stuff. Amen. But he said to me, hey, man, I hear you doing this. I hear you taking it somewhere else. So I want to always give David the kudos because we're great friends, but he's also someone that really does hear my voice where it sits.
Amen. Well, see, and so now we are going to hear his voice where we sit, and that is Eric Red's version of Little Drummer Boy right now. So put on your little dancing shoes, freshen up your little whatever, and we'll be right back in 3.5 minutes with Eric Red.
Come, they told me, ba-ra-ba-bum-bum. A newborn king see, ba-ra-ba-bum-bum. Our finest gifts that we bring, ba-ra-ba-bum-bum. To lay before the king, ba-ra-ba-bum-bum, ba-ba-bum-bum, ba-ba-bum-bum. So to honor him, ba-ra-ba-bum-bum, when we come. Little baby, ba-da-da-ba-bum-bum. I am a poor boy too, ba-da-ba-bum-bum. I have no gifts to bring, ba-da-ba-bum-bum. That's fit to give a king, ba-da-ba-bum-bum, ba-ba-bum-bum. Shall I play for you on my drum?
Ah, there we go. You know what? And at the end, it makes you actually want to give a little bit of gratitude for the higher power.
Absolutely.
The little drummer boy. Because if you're not marching along to the tune of your own drum, children, what the hell are you doing at these holidays?
Say it again with feeling.
If you're not marching to the
Yeah.
beat of your drum. Now,
Yeah.
we've walked on a little bit of memory lane. Was there a formative moment, though? Maybe it was while you were dancing, where you said, I need to be doing this for forever. Forever, ever, forever, ever.
I've had two formative moments, and one of
Okay.
them was dancing, and one of them was singing. The dancing one was when I was when I was on Soul Train, and this is a black mother. When I was coming out of high school, and she said, "You're either going to college or you're gonna get a job." So I got a job, and I couldn't stand that because I was still on Soul Train, and she hated that. So I went to college. I went to junior college, and I took one dance class, and I took all political science classes. Oh, wow. because I was really into politics.
Still? I know you take a back seat because it's too much, but
I take a back seat because I've now learned how disingenuous humans are, and that's disappointing. I love politics when it's that mixture of helping people and being in there and one idea versus some idea, but the country that we're from, that you said, that is completely off the chain at this point. You know, cruelty is not something I ever want to know about. And I'm never going to subscribe to it, and I'm never going to align with humans that find that type of thing is an oh well. And there's so much of that right now that I just can't even do the political thing, because politics should be a good back and forth. And it should be a delicious mixture of minds. And this is just money and cruelty. And that's one of the reasons I left the States as well.
do you see a difference here a little bit in Europe?
Absolutely. Because, you know, one of the things in Europe is that you allow people to live. The basic humanity of health care, fresh food, sunshine, and clean water and warmth. These
Access
are
to
basics.
medicines for cheap.
Yeah, these are basics that everyone on this entire globe should be able to have. If you want to be rich and all that other stuff, go do that. If you want to play in other games, but do not play with humans just wanting to raise their children and live. And I will not abide by a country that refuses to allow people to just live. Everybody doesn't want to be rich. Everybody doesn't want to be famous. Some people just want to. I've met people that all they ever wanted to do was have a child and be married and raise that child and watch them grow up. I have friends in California. They have 6 grandchildren. I went to school with them. 6 grandchildren. She stopped working so she could watch her grandchildren grow. She stopped working so she could watch her killed. She is the most amazing. Della, hi. And I'm so proud of her because she shows me what humanity really looks like. And she's Mexican. Hello.
Really?
Yes, because my other official name is Fernandez because I grew up and my best friends were the Fernandez family. Anyway.
That's so funny, man. If you are from California, you have Mexicans somewhere up in your friends and family group. It's so funny.
Yes.
My girl Kelly, my boy Sid, who should be here after the
love
New
them
Year.
like there's no tomorrow. But circling back to your question, when I was in Cats, I was dancing and I was really doing my thing, and they treated me in Cats like, well, dancers are all cute and fine, but it's the singers who are the real. And I was like, what? Here I am with all this art, and they were like, yeah, whatever, go back, get
And
in
the
the back.
musical Cats of all things
Yeah.
as well.
And that was the change for me, that I said, okay, we're going to sing. And I have always had this absolutely huge fascination with Diana Ross. And I speak about it all the time now because she's 81, but I'll tell you why. It wasn't just the trailblazing of the Supremes and what they led us to in Motown. It is that if you look at the entirety of her career, she has been a class act. And that's what I wanted to be. I always wanted to be someone in the arts that was really a trailblazer, but knew when to speak and when not to speak. Yeah. If you notice, this woman was like Michael Jackson's best friend.
Yep.
But she didn't show up at the funeral because she knew the chaos that was ahead. I can always admire her children, her...
God, yes.
Yeah, because this business is no joke. We as artists are the voices. We are the voices you have to listen to when all this other crazy is going on. And you're not just going to be an artist. You're going to have to dedicate your whole life to it. When I look at where I'm at right now and I see how many of my amazing friends that were amazing artists, and they've all fallen off by the wayside because you have to believe you have something to share.
Exactly.
And something to say. And if you don't believe it, then how in the hell are you going to make anybody else believe it? That sounds like a RuPaul quote, right?
But also,
it's the truth.
Some of the energy that you produce with your music also gives Ru, and both of you, there's another one who's been doing this since the 70s and 80s.
Yes, because you have something
Another
that's
black
instilled in you.
King Queen as well.
Yeah, but
has been doing this. And
Barry Manilow,
amen. But Jew.
you know.
I think there is an element, and this is something that pissed off some of my business clients, and I don't give a shit because it's true, and they all agreed to it in the end. But there's an element of suffrage that is sometimes not necessary, but it's sometimes customary in referencing how you're going to get to
Absolutely.
an understanding, a comprehension, the next level, your new vortex, for not lack of a better, different word, to that. And I feel like a lot of the generations that are coming up, certainly below the Zennials, have not. There's this cushion that Gen X parents were like, no, they no sufre, so they don't
Yes.
suffer, and we have coddled them to, and not the good kind of coddling. We have coddled them into really being just weak-minded souls.
But
and
you
that
realize that
concerns
is
me.
the internet.
And that has been
That is the
pushing
internet.
for that.
Because you think about it now. When you want to shut that kid up, you hand them an iPad.
And
Take
you see
this and go
babies
over
with
there.
them now.
Yes.
Oh, it's horrid.
So it's one of the
Especially as an
things
educator.
that's very interesting to me is that we are not teaching people the rough road. We're teaching them that all you got to do is go on reality TV, act a fool, jump around, call people names, and you're going to be
Yes,
really
exactly.
famous, and you're going to have a lot of money, and then you can look down on other people because look, you've made it. And the funniest part of that, because before it used to just really make me mad. I tell you why it doesn't make me angry anymore, because now I'm way down the line, and I know that it's not promised. Cher talks about it. You go through this career, and there's it goes really high, and then it levels off, and then it goes a little low, and then it goes back high again, and then it levels off, and then there may be like getting down in the gravel dirt.
Lori Davis, hair products.
And when you get to those gravel dirt parts, nobody wants to talk to you. And when you get there, that's where the artist shows up. That's where
And
the
your
artist
friends,
shows
too,
up.
the real ones.
No. That's where your artist shows up, because that's where you decide what you've put in is the ability to sit back on that and go forward. Or you say, okay, I'm going to go do something else now. And I'm telling you, I don't know one artist that hasn't been down in the dregs of hell with this career and up on the top of it, back and forth and back and forth.
One of my favorites, honestly, from En Vogue and Lucy Pearl, her name is Dawn Richardson.
Dawn.
And she's been living out of her car the last 3 years.
I met Dawn at the beginning of En Vogue.
It really got me. Now, she has other options, but she's chosen something else, and she does have a place to stay and stuff. But she has been staying out of her car. And these kinds of stories, especially from, I mean, without a shadow of a doubt, my favorite girl group outfit is En Vogue.
Oh,
Yeah, I know.
it was mine until recently.
Okay, well, you got to tell me which one it is.
It's the Rona thing.
Okay.
They just dropped off their last. They had a new member, Rona, who had been in the band for 20 years on and off, and they did something disingenuous, and she left the group recently.
Is she the taller sister?
But
That last record from 2018.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Look,
it was so
I don't
good.
say this to say bad things about En Vogue, because they're sweet
love
girls
them.
and I've met them
Yes.
all. But this business is ugly.
Keep it real.
And
Please tell the kids. They need to
Really,
know.
it is just because money does some other things here. And it's hard to stay above board with your integrity. My dearest friend and I, we talk about this ad nauseum, about sticking with your integrity of who you are while you're making money and while you're not, and while someone's offering you something that they're not offering somebody else. You have to stay, because
You have to know who you are to
you
stay
do.
there, and that's the thing we don't often give.
because there's as many ups as
people.
downs. And it's funny because I wanted to touch on this one point, that it's one of my most disappointments about living in Barcelona is that they don't create a community financially so that we can reward one another and all work together as a musical community. They create a competition. And so everybody's
last night.
Yeah, everybody's scratching for 3 nickels. And so when a job comes, we're not really willing to call the best person for the job or the one need. We're calling our friends, and you don't tell this person. And I thought I had left all that in the States because, there's big old money over there and all that other. But I get here and we're talking about shekels, and people are doing this stuff. And I want to impress upon people all the time. I don't care what you do today. I don't care what you do tomorrow. I don't care what you did yesterday. Talk to me in 20 years. Talk to me in 25 years because it's not promised to you. I have friends now. I am so grateful to be alive because I have friends that are dying. I have friends that did full-on music careers, dance careers, and they're dying at 60. They're dying at 59, and they don't get to see that next section. So there's a gratitude that you have to be in it and stay in it, but there's also a graciousness to you that you need to have to everyone else on the journey. And that's what I'm here to impress as I go forward. And
Is that part of the, excuse me for interrupting, is that part of the performance that you give, like tonight at the Velvet Room, Carrer de Aviación, that's Aviation Street, number 9 in Les Corts, very near the metro there as well. And not only, let me just also say, not only is it plush and beautiful ambiance.
Gorgeous.
Delicious food as well. Beautiful waiters as well.
Yes.
Beautiful God of Yodé and beautiful God here. But part of that is what you give in your performance as well, because you do interact. It's not just sing. You talk to the people, and I find that very important. Is that part of the element that you also want to serve?
No, there's so much gratitude I have that I get to share the journey. And my mission in all of this is to keep it fun and to keep it happy, but not frivolous, but really, let me tell you what it's like to have walked this. And don't take it seriously if it's only just an hour of your life being with me, because there is a lot of fun to have. And I'll tell you, each person that I am now connected with, and I can't say enough about the Velvet Room, because one of the things I love about it and the reason I perform there so often is because it is so much beauty around. The entire space creates love and beauty and stuff, even when it's just being nuts and people are drinking too much. And that's where I'm at. You know, I don't want to come into a space. I've played other places here, and they're smelly and they're dirty, and the people that no, seriously, and the people that run these clubs don't care about the music, and it's how many people are you going to bring in here, which is fine. I'm not mad at you musically, but you have to know what I'm here to give. I have to, and I will say something because I know your next artist that's coming on, is that since I have seen posters of Gigi since I came to Barcelona, all I see is magic. All I see is excitement and fun. I never see anything less than who I am in her when she's getting ready to perform. And I'm really grateful to be on your show with her today. Because that's what it's got to be next. You know, it's got this thing of just, one day you're going to be famous and you're going to make a lot of money. But it's not a laster. It's not lasting.
Especially now.
And, you know, I say to every one of my musicians, you're one baby away from your art being something that you can't afford to do.
I'm going to use that for my uni kids.
All the time.
Oh, wow.
You're one baby away.
So stay grateful for what we have.
So exactly. Because I've seen it, and I've seen how many people had wonderful craft work and things that they've done and get to that juncture and have to make that decision.
Yeah, and they do. So, folks, take it from your uncle, because he's testifying and keeping it real at the Holidaze as well, at Christmas Kwanzaa. And it's truth. Everything you've said is truth. The other truth is that my brother, not only tonight, but he does certain points, spots of residency as well at the Velvet Room, Carrer de Aviación. He's going to be doing 2 performances this evening, one at 11 o'clock and then again at 1 in the morning, right?
Yeah.
So the fun is to be had. Folks, we're also going to be serving up and just shipping out all of the little things that we have to do here for Gigi McFarlane coming in for the second hour. But we cannot leave without thanking you again for celebrating some of the holidays with us, my beautiful brother. And also, in reference to what he's been saying and remembering the gratitude, we're going to finish out with an outro to another single that you've thrown out recently called Bon Bon Vie, Give Me the Good Life. And so that was what we're going to be talking about, because that's what we need anyway in this new moon phase. Mr. Eric Red, remember you can also catch his goodness at Eric Red Music all over the good place, and ericred.com as well, or ericredmusic.com.
Eric, both, all of them.
Okay.
I own all of them.
Eric Red Music as well on Instagram and Facebook. So everybody check that out as well. And Velvet Room tonight. Folks, we'll be right back in just a few minutes with Gigi McFarlane. And this is Give Me the Good Life. We love you. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks.
The man promised me a ring.